All right, let's get this straight. You ever had one of those mornings where you're just minding your business, trying to relax, maybe fishing a little on your own land, and next thing you know, the cops come screaming down your driveway, sirens blaring. All because the HOA president thinks you're stealing fish from your own lake? Yeah, that happened. Picture it. Me, standing there with my old fishing rod, on a patch of Texas land that's been in my family since before most of these HOA folks even knew what Texas looked like. 3 police cars sliding to a stop, and the so-called community leaders, waving papers and shouting, "Arrest him." I just stood there, part annoyed, part amused, waiting for reality to hit them, because they picked the wrong guy to try and bully. Let me back up a sec, give you the full picture. This land, 125 acres of rolling hills, wide blue skies, and a 5-acre lake built by my Grandpa William's own hands in 1983, isn't just my home, it's my heritage. Grandpa taught me to fish here when I was 5, told me every fisherman needs 2 things, patience and a loyal dog. That's how I got Max, my golden retriever and my best friend. Max isn't just comic relief, though he'll happily steal your sandwich if you turn your back. He's also got a 6th sense for trouble. Grandpa used to say, when that dog growls, you listen. I never took that seriously until the HOA showed up. For most of my life, the ranch was quiet, peaceful. Then, 2 months back, a group of bored neighbors decided to form a homeowners association, and suddenly, 2 faces became my daily headache. Robert Sterling, a former real estate guy who looked like he ate commissions for breakfast, and Patricia Hawthorne, a sharp-tongued lawyer with eyes like a hawk. What nobody knew was they'd been married, got divorced for appearances, but ran their HOA like a crime syndicate. The intimidation started early. Sterling cornered me at the gas station one day, gave me the classic, nice property, be a shame if something happened speech, breath heavy with coffee and threats. Before I could reply, Max let out a growl that made Sterling step back fast. From then on, the games escalated. Week after week, certified letters arrived, each fine more absurd than the last. $500 for fish odor, $750 for disturbing the peace with my fishing line, $1,000 for traumatizing aquatic life. I started making videos reading their fines out loud for my subscribers, and, well, people loved it. 2 million views in 2 days. But the more the internet laughed, the angrier Sterling got. He started driving past my ranch daily, taking photos, creeping by at 3 a.m. The dog got more and more anxious, and one day, I found footprints by the dock, size 13 boots, deep in the mud. The threats got nastier. One day, I got a letter. I had 14 days to fill in my lake because it was an HOA safety hazard, or they'd fine me $50,000. Attached was a map so fake you could see the Comic Sans font, property lines drawn in MS Paint. That was funny until the phone calls and texts started. Stop fishing or else. Then a photo, someone had been watching me from the tree line. I'd never felt more exposed in my life. But here's where the crazy really starts. Saturday morning, I'm streaming live from my channel, just hooked a monster base, when Max goes ballistic, hackles up, barking at the gate. And that's when 3 police cruisers roar down the road, lights flashing, dust everywhere. Sterling and Patricia are right there at my gate, looking like they just conquered Rome. She's filming on her phone, he's waving papers, both of them smug as all get out. The chat explodes, call a lawyer. Is this real? And donations flood in for my legal fees. One officer, Johnson, looks barely old enough to shave, but he tries to sound tough, hand on his gun. Sir, step away from the water. Sterling is bouncing like a toddler on a sugar rush, yelling, arrest that man. He's trespassing, stealing HOA fish. Max puts himself between me and them, and honestly, if he had a badge, I'd have made him sheriff then and there. I stay calm, officers. I'm on my own land. Got all my paperwork if you want to see it. Patricia screeches, liar. This is HOA property. She flashes that cartoon map. That's when salvation shows up. A battered Ford pickup rolls up, and out comes Frank Bennett, retired county sheriff, tough as boot leather, trained half the officers in the county. He walks up, looks Johnson in the eye, and says, "You really gonna arrest a man for fishing on his own land without checking the facts?" Frank asks for the map, gives it one look, and laughs. This isn't even spelled right. This isn't a legal document. It's a joke. He has everyone come in to see my actual deeds, Grandpa's will, 30 years of property taxes, all proving this is my lake. My ranch. Sterling's face goes from red to purple. Patricia's confidence melts. Officer Johnson, now angry, says, "Not only is this Mr. Morrison's property, but filing a false police report is a felony. You've wasted police resources." The chat erupts, "Get wrecked, HOA." And for the first time, I see real fear in Sterling's eyes. Frank pulls me aside, gives me a note, says, "Watch your back." This isn't Sterling's first rodeo. That night, I read the note. Sterling's real name is Robert Steinberg, 20 years of scamming families. One man disappeared, a cop named Tom Johnson. I start digging, with help from Frank and the community. My video of the confrontation goes viral, 5 million views in a day, emails pouring in from victims, stories of ruined lives. It turns out Sterling and Patricia run a ring, fake fines, legal threats, scaring families off their land for pennies, also they can sell to developers. Their divorce is fake. They play both sides. Even more chilling, Patricia's mom, Victoria, ran the same scam decades. TAO.it all comes to a head at the HOA meeting. I show up, briefcase in hand, Max by my side, acting like I'm beaten, ready to sell out. Sterling can't hide his glee. He wants everyone to see me surrender. Instead, I fire up the projector and lay it all bare. Sterling's real ID, the fake divorce, the victim stories, even security footage from Grandpa's files. Then comes the bombshell, evidence linking Sterling and Patricia to Tom Johnson's disappearance and, yes, Grandpa's accidental death. The room erupts. Patricia tries to run, but the FBI is waiting. Sterling cracks, confesses, and in one afternoon, a 30-year crime spree unravels on live stream. Max, like the hero he is, walks Sterling to the squad car, tail wagging. Finally at ease, Sterling gets 40 to life, Patricia 20 for conspiracy and fraud. The HOA collapses, and families get their land back. 6 months later, I host the first annual fishing tournament in Grandpa's name. Frank gives a speech about justice. Johnson finally gets closure for his brother, and Max jumps in the lake to everyone's applause. But the story doesn't end there. One last envelope shows up. Old photos of Grandpa in Moscow hints at a deeper conspiracy. Was Grandpa a spy? Did Victoria's family go back even further? Comment your theory below, because this rabbit hole runs deep, and something tells me the biggest fish are still out there. If you believe in standing up to bullies, documenting everything, and never letting anyone take what's yours, hit like, subscribe, and tell me where you're watching from. And always trust your dog. They know evil when they smell it.